Hello everyone, this is Wiz from Wiz-Tech, and in this video we'll learn how to make a one-on-one video calling app using Zego Cloud. This app has features like any other video calling app. You can mute your calls, speaker your calls, and even switch cameras. Let's learn how to create this. First of all, head over to the website ZegoCloud.com. The link is in the description. Zego Cloud is a global communication service provider offering developer-friendly SDKs and APIs that empower developers to build various communication features in their apps, such as video calls, chat, video conferences, and live streaming. We don't need to start building from scratch. We can go live in minutes with only the few lines of code. It provides features like video call, AR effects, device management, screen sharing, etc. We get features like group call kit, video conference also. We can build custom UI and user experience with a better real-time experience using fully customizable SDKs. We can build for education, telehealth, live shopping, fitness, collaboration, etc. And it is loved by developers and trusted by businesses like Star Maker and many more. It has cross-platform compatibility, so it supports Android, iOS, web, Flutter, React Native, Windows, Mac OS, and even Electro. So let's start using Zego Cloud. First of all, to sign up, let's go to the sign up screen. Here we will have to provide details like first name, last name, country name, work email, and we'll get a verification code in our work email. So let's type in the country. Mine is Nepal. The work email, I will type my personal email, Wiz401, and I will get the code in this email. So let's hit get code. Let's fill in the captcha. Let's visit my Gmail to view the code. So after writing the verification code, let's type in the password and start our free trial. After registering with Zego Cloud, we can start building powerful interactions apps with voice and video chat API. When we log in for the first time, we unlock a free credit of 10,000 minutes. So we also have to provide the company name. For now, I will leave it none. And the company website is not mandatory. So the job title, let's add it student. And the industry will be education. And the phone number will be your own phone number. You can add work phone number or your personal phone number here. So let's hit continue. And we got the free minutes trial of 10,000 minutes that expires someday. So let's go to dashboard. So let's create our first project. Head over here and click voice and video call. That's what we are using for this video. And click next. After that, we have to name our project. So let's name it video app. And there are two ways to get started. So we have a pre-built UI kit provided by Zego Cloud, and using the SDK to create our custom UI. But for this video, we will be using the pre-built UI kit. So start with UI kits. Now it will create our project. Let's wait for it. Now our project is created, so let's start building our app. Here you can see we have multiple UI kits provided to us for web, for iOS, for Android, for Flutter, and for React Native. For now we will be using the Flutter, so click on for Flutter. So here are other features, so like premium face beautification, screen sharing, virtual avatar. So we will leave it off for now. So we can also choose group call, but we are not doing that right now. So we will only be using one-on-one call for now. So let's save and start to integrate. So click on quick start to read the documentation. So here is the documentation for how to implement the SDK. So here is a package given by Zego Cloud, Zego UI Kit pre-built call. So let's search for that in our pub.dev. So copy this and paste it here. So Zego UI Kit pre-built call. So let's go to installing, and here is the dependency code. Copy this, and I have already created a brand new project for the video app. So let's head over to the pubspec.yaml, and below property icons, paste the copied code, Zego UI Kit pre-built call, and open the terminal. And let's pub-get. So flutter pub-get. Let's head over to the documentation to see our next step. So here the next step is copy pasting this code. So let's skip this for now. Let's first configure the project. So inside our build.gradle, so app level build.gradle, we have to change the compile SDK version to 33. So let's do that. Inside Android app build.gradle, so compile SDK version should be 33. So let's see the next step. So the next step is changing the minimum SDK version to 21. So this is also app level build.gradle. So where is it? Minimum SDK version to 21. So let's go for the next step. The next step is setting the Kotlin and Gradle version. So modify the Kotlin version to be more than 1.8.0. So let's copy this. So inside our Android level build.gradle file, here the Kotlin version is 1.7.10. So let's replace it with 1.8.0, and the Gradle class path version to be 4.1.3. So class path, copy this. So dependencies over here, 7.3.0. So it's already greater than the required version, so we don't have to change that. Let's go over the next step. So make the Gradle version 7.0. So distribution channel, this is inside the Gradle file, Gradle wrapper properties. So it's 7.5 right now, so we need greater than 7.0, so it's already done, so we don't have to change that also. So the next is add permissions like Wi-Fi, record audio, internet, network state, camera, Bluetooth, etc. So copy this and head over to the manifest file. So it's inside Android app, src, main, and right here Android manifest file. So outside this application, right below the manifest, give an indent and paste the permissions. So like this, user permission, etc. So let's look at the next step. So prevent code obfuscation. To prevent code obfuscation in your project, create a new file named, so we have to create a new file named ProGuardRules.pro inside our app folder. So inside Android app, inside here we have to create a new file. So paste the file name ProGuardRules.pro. So inside the file we have to paste this code. So copy this and paste it here, and that's it. So let's close all this and collapse every folder. So let's check if we have missed any steps. So yeah, there's still one step left. So add the following config code to the release part of your project Android app build.gradle. So copy this. So inside our Android app, this one, build.gradle. So in the build type releases, under this, right, yeah, under this, paste the full code. So paste the code here, and so the other configuration is for iOS. So we don't have iOS right now, it's only for the Android, so we don't have to do that anymore. So that's the final step. So let's head over to the coding. So let's head over to our main.dart file. So inside the lib folder, main.dart file, so remove the existing code, we don't need that. So remove that and run app constant material app. So for now, let's remove the debug banner that exists in every Flutter code. So debug, so check mode banner false, and let's run the app. So right now there is nothing showing up, and because we don't have any UI configuration made in our app, so we will do that. Before we start using the UI kit provided by Zego Cloud, this one, let's make a simple login screen. Using this login screen, we will differentiate the users with unique user ID. Every one-on-one call app needs this unique user ID to know which user is calling which user. For app like WhatsApp, the unique user ID is the phone number of the user. For Instagram, it is the username, which is unique. So let's make the login page. So inside the lib folder, make a new page named login_page.dart, and this will be a stateless page. So let's name it login page. So let's pass this login page as a route to our main.dart file. So below debug, so check mode banner, type routes. So it will take many routes, so it will be like a map. inside a curly braces. So type the name of the route, so we will name it login, and pass in the context and the route. The route will be login page, and it will automatically import the login page file. So below this, let's set the initial route so that the app will always start at the login page to be login. Let's remove this start.js import, it's not needed. So inside our login page, let's return a scaffold instead of a placeholder. So scaffold. The scaffold will have a app bar. So app bar. Inside the title will be a text which will say login page. So when we are using our app bar, we can't pass in the constant keyword as a scaffold. So remove this, and all errors will be gone. So stop the app and rebuild the app again. So it is successfully routing to our login page as our initial page. So let's make the login page. So inside the body of the scaffold, we will return a container. So container. So the login UI will be something like, it will have two text fields, a name field and a user ID field, and below that text field we will have a button to route to the next page. So we will need to have a column as a child for the container. So the column will take some children's. So the first children will be a text field, and the second children will also be a text field, and below the text field will have an elevated button. So elevated button whose on press functionality, let's leave it blank for now, and the child of the elevated button will be a text which will say login. So let's hot restart our app. So we have two text fields and a login button. So let's fix the UIs a little bit. So let's add a margin for the container. So age insets dot all of margin of 10 will be fine, and let's make the column center. So main axis alignment dot center. So it's in the middle. So we don't know which field is what, so which is a name field and which is a user ID field. So let's add the decoration. So input decoration, input decoration. So hint text will be name for the first one, and the decoration for the second field. So input decoration, hint text will be user ID, or let's add username. So let's hot restart our app. So name, username, and the login button. So let's make some more changes. So let's add a outline border for this text fields. So below hint text we'll add border, outline input border, and let's copy this and paste it below the hint text in our second text field. So like this. It looks a little bit better. Let's add a size box between this two text field. So sized box of height 10, and let's increase the margin to be 20. Okay, my emulator is acting up, so yeah, it looks a little bit better. So also add a size box above the elevated button. Size box of height 20. Let's hot restart. Okay, looks good. This much will do for now. Let's remove these squiggly lines. So quick fix, add constant modifier everywhere in the file, so that makes the code a little bit readable. So from this login screen we have to pass two things to the call screen, so the name and the username. So for that, let's make a static string name whose initial value will be blank for now, and let's copy paste it below. So I use Shift Alt down to quickly copy the line below. So this will be user ID. Right now when we type inside this text field, nothing will happen because we don't have a onChange functionality. So let's assign the value that we type inside the static variables that we created. So inside the text field, add onChanged and value for this, and the value, we'll assign this value to the name equals to value. So we are getting an error because now it's no more a constant text field. So remove this constant keyword and paste it over here, decoration constant. So same thing below the username text field. So onChange value user ID equals to value, and remove this constant keyword and put it up here, constant. So now whenever we type in something inside this to text field, it will assign the value that we typed in to the variables name and user ID respectively. So now let's make a page for the call screen that we have to push after we click the elevated button. So let's create the login screen, the call screen. So inside the lib folder, call screen dot, it will also be a stateless widget. So call screen, so we will return a scaffold. Let's remove the constant modifier, and inside our main dart, let's add the routes for our call screen. So copy paste this below. So like I said, I use Shift Alt down arrow key for the quick copy paste. So change this login to call, and this login page will be call screen, and let's add the button. So navigator dot push named context, and the route name will be call. So let's test it out. Restart the app and let's type in the name, Sam, and the user ID will be Sammy, and login. So we are redirected to the call screen. Instead of directly going to the call screen after login, let's make it a home screen where we will have a center button to join the call. So let's rename, let's make the home screen home.dart file, and it will be a stateless widget home screen, and we will return a scaffold. Remove the constant modifier, so add a app bar whose title will be text, home screen, and below the app bar we'll have a body. The body will be a center child button, elevated button, whose style will be a text. So the text will be join call, and let's add a on press functionality, on pressed. So on pressed, let's leave it empty for now. So in our main dot file, let's add the routes. So copy paste this, home screen. So inside our login page, after we press the button, we will go to the home page, not the call page. So let's restart our app. So name will be Sammy login. So yeah, the home screen, join call. Now inside the call screen, we will have the code for the calling. So let's go to the documentation. So class call page, so we have to create a final string call ID. Copy this, and below this paste it here, final string call ID, and add required this dot call ID, and copy this whole code, Zego UI Kit pre-built call. So copy this, and instead of the scaffold, return that Zego UI Kit pre-built call. So we have to import this. Import. Now we have some error. So the app ID should be the app ID that we get in from the Zego Cloud admin console. So is the app sign key. So let's get that. Instead of directly adding the app ID and the app sign right here, I'll make a constants dart file. So constants dart, and inside it will be a string for what is it, app ID, and the string for app sign, string app sign. And I will get the app ID and app sign keys from the admin console. So go to the admin console, and here let's let it reload. Sorry, we had to log in again. So after logging in, let's go to the dashboard. So video call app, and here it is, the app sign key and the app ID. So copy this and paste it here, app ID, and copy the app sign. Copy and paste it here, and in our call screen, so it will be app ID, so it will automatically import the constants file, and the app sign will be app sign. The argument can't be assigned to the parameter type int, so this is not a string, so it should be integer. So remove the quotes. Good. So we still have some error in our call screen. So to resolve this error, just type in context inside the brackets and it resolves the error. And we have an error in our main.r file. So it's for the call screen because we are requiring the call ID in our call screen. So let's remove this call route from here, and inside our home screen let's directly push a material page route to the call screen. So navigator dot off context dot push material page route. Builder will be the context and call screen, and the call ID, it is the call ID of the caller. So let's hard code it for now. 1 2 3 4. You can use a variable for that. So end it with a semicolon and it resolves the error. So in our call screen we are using a hard-coded user ID and the username. We don't want that because we already created a login page that fetches the username and user ID from the user. So let's use that as the user ID and username. So login page dot user ID for the user ID and login page dot name for the user. So all the setup is done. So let's test it out. I have already built this for another device so that we can use two devices as one call. So let's test it out. So I will log in as Sam name and the Sammy username for this device in my emulator and join the call. So it shows something like this because I don't have a camera in my emulator. So I will join from my another device now. So join call, and as you can see it's working. I will disable the mic in my mobile so you can hear it clearly. So here you go. You can even change the camera from front to back like this, and it's working. That's a wrap for today's tutorial video showcasing Zego Cloud's video call capabilities. Make sure to check out the links in the description for more information and resources. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Wiz-Tech for future tech and programming content. Thank you for watching.